Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and today Daniel Schmid is heading into space. He's heading to Minmus to be the first Kerbal ever to land on the surface of Minmus, and I can't use the gravity turn mod on this little ship here because it gravity turns very poorly if you don't manually do it. I couldn't figure out a set of... I should probably have the computer on, that's for sure. I couldn't find a set of whatever you call them, settings for the gravity turn mod that made it work. We're also, yeah, I'm doing a very poor job as I'm talking and flying. Never talk while you're flying. Let me give you all that that thing. Geordi LaForge on Star Trek made it look so easy to fly and talk at the same time, to do anything and talk at the same time. But if you do that, you're going to end up either screwing up what you say or screwing up the mission that you're flying on, or, as I like to do, both. But we're not doing too bad. We're a little bit high, but that's not a big deal. We actually want to be a little bit high here and get this thing going. We're going to be running out of... There goes those. We're fine. We're all fine here. I think they fixed that. They made it so that the thing you drop, the solids, are a lot more likely to blow up when they hit something, so they don't destroy the rest of your ship, which I'm going to say is a good thing. But anyway, this ship, it's going to complete most of the contracts. I think we just got the hull and radial mounted chute into flight. We just got that because, you know, that happens. We've also got a ton of other contracts, which I thought I deleted that. The one we're not going to get, we're going to get this Spark one, and that's going to be interesting. That was an interesting design challenge for me. That's why there's a docking port on this guy at the very top that I threw away already. That's to bring him splash down. We're also going to test the 1.25 meter heat shield splash down. We're not testing the medium landing gear. That's a plane landing gear. I'm going to have to sadly probably do a dedicated mission for that. Maybe just the next time we take a plane out, we'll ditch it in the water and then test the landing gear. We're also going to get the flyby Minmus. We're going to get the Explore Minmus. Hopefully the entire Explore Minmus contract we're getting in this thing. However, for now, we're not doing a darn thing. We are burning to orbit, and I will see you. I'll see you as we are plotting our course to Minmus. How's that sound? Okay, we have a slight problem that isn't a big deal, but I'm going to fix it anyway. I'm planning my burn to Minmus, and we're going to miss it here, so I figured I would come over here to this to the ascending node, it looks like. And the amount of fuel left in the orbit and transfer stage, which is this long stage here, is not enough to get us up to Moon's orbit. So when I ditch that stage, it would be in a permanent orbit here. So I'm actually only going to burn 700 and let's say 75. That'll leave us 7 meters per second out here. That if we add a maneuver and we go -7, that'll be enough to get it into the atmosphere and destroy it. So we're going to do that. We're actually going to burn it out here and leave ourselves about 5 to 7 meters per second. Just to keep the orbital lanes clear, because I do not like orbital debris. So let's go ahead and time warp up to 3 minutes before that burn, which is sadly, is it going to be in the dark? It actually probably won't be in the dark, will it? No, it'll be in the light, which is good because we're running lowish on electric charge. So I'm going to turn the engine or the computer off, and then we're going to get this guy rotating. And then we're gonna just let him rotate on his own. For the rest of this mission, electric charge isn't going to be a big deal. I didn't bring a battery. Instead, I brought solar panels. And that's just kind of something you have to deal with when you're in low Kerbal orbit. And you're trying to save money. We got Moho here. We got Duna. We got Eve. All going to be targets of the space program. By the way, I've set up all the transfer windows so I know when they're coming. That way I can plan. If we don't have any missions directly to them, I'm going to send a probe to them to kind of unlock them for the transfer window planner. There we go, 7. That's what I said I wanted. That's what I got. Okay, let's kill this maneuver node. Let's go out here. Then we're just going to go -7, which will get this thing in the atmosphere, which is all I want. And it's conveniently in the exact same direction. One thing I wish Precise Node did was if you hit a key that wasn't a number, or a math key, it just ignored it. Although the period key, I guess, which is the most common one to hit here to time warp forward, is a math key. So there goes that idea. Never mind. I wish different keys were used for different things. By default, going back in time so that I didn't learn them that way. This is good enough. There we go. There goes that. Now we're going to turn around. Oh, we've got the weird Kerbin in the window problem. Nothing I can do about it. I think it'll go away if I quick save and reload. But I'm kind of in a hurry here. We want to aim ourselves prograde. Throttle down. Hit F5. Stage this thing away. And then our periapsis is already... No, it is not. Let's go ahead and burn our periapsis up to above 70. There we go. Now this thing, I can delete it whenever I feel like it because it would have died anyway. And you notice that the spark engine has a docking port here. When the mission's all done and we're ready to come home, I'm going to detach this thing and then use the little bit of monoprop I brought. I think I brought 2 units of monoprop to detach this guy, flip around, and attach to him. That way we can bring it back and then make sure we splash down. That's the plan. It's a bad plan, but it's my plan. Okay, let's go ahead and add a maneuver to get out here. Now, one thing we could do, we could be all tricky and try to use the moon to get there, but I think we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. There's our connection with Minmus. And then if we place a maneuver node here, we just have to, we don't even need to do anything. Just next orbit, we will get a connection with Minmus if we do this 143 meter per second burn. Okay, we are a lot more spry now as well. Let's go ahead and aim at our maneuver node. And then let's go ahead and hit F5. And then let's hit F9 and see if we can clear this thing. There we go. No ghost Kerbin out there. And we've got a maneuver node, so let's hit F5 again, not that it matters. And time warp ourselves down. Yeah, because we're landing on Minmus, I didn't actually bring any landing gear at all. Every little bit of weight was important in this mission. Because I was trying to run the margins. I like to keep my margins tight. And let's see, this is actually a pretty hefty burn now that I'm looking at it. The Spark isn't a great engine, but yeah, he's gonna land without landing gear. And really looking at this, he probably has far more fuel than he needs. I probably could have brought landing gear. I probably could have put landing gear on these guys. I'm hoping once we get into Minmus' sphere of influence that we'll get some sort of maybe survey contract from Minmus that we can knock out with this guy. How cool would that be? It's about as close as I can probably expect it to be. And if we add a maneuver node here, we do have a Minmus encounter, I believe. And that's actually a really good one. So I'm not even going to do anything. We're just going to let that happen. Minmus is getting larger in our view. Yeah, it's because it's so dark. It's hard to tell what it is. I think that's Eve and Duna. That's so awesome. I love seeing those. I love seeing other planets. Hey, we've been the first people ever to Minmus. Let's keep these experiments. And now let's warp to our maneuver node. I wish there were hotkeys for that. That is super dark. But things are going to be getting lighter as time goes on. Let's go ahead and... There we go. Yeah, we have so much fuel. It's kind of ridiculous. After we do this, we got to hop out and take our EVA report, because that's something that doesn't happen automatically. And if I haven't done it yet, I will apologize now about the air conditioner that just turned off. It is about 95 degrees outside. Perfect day for staying inside and playing Kerbal Space Program. But it is also a perfect day to run the air conditioner nearly nonstop. And I am not going to do anything else. Oh, we got more contracts. Oh, we probably got into orbit. Achieve orbit around Minmus. The recent accomplishments, blah, 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 blah. Okay, hop on out. Take your EVA report and hop right back in. Okie doke. Plant a flag on Minmus. See, that's why you come back. Stack decoupler landed at Kerbin. I mean, that's free money right there. The twin bore splashed down. That's never going to happen. So for our very first landing on Minmus, we're going to make this as easy as possible. We are going to land in the flats, in the sun. Probably, yeah, let's burn here. But let's burn retrograde like smart people would do. Let's actually burn kind of here-ish. Bring this down. Okay, that's good enough. Now, if I say Minmus is going to rotate a bit, and then I stop here. Whoops. That's basically perfect, but let's bring it out so we're right in this little, what's the opposite of an isthmus? Passage between the two seas here. And that is over a minute long burn, which is kind of scary, but I'm sure we can handle it. We'll start a little early. Our local thrust to weight is almost 6, so we don't really have that much to worry about here. We should be hopping out and getting EVA reports, but I just can't be bothered. Now the ambient light is too bright. There we go. Close the alarm on pause. Temperature scan while in space near Minmus. Crew report in space near Minmus. Atmospheric pressure scan in space near Minmus. Let's go ahead and do our EVA report in space near Minmus over the Midlands. Apparently we got 2 of them somehow. I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but I'm not going to complain. Minmus does not like the color I have chosen for the maneuver nodes. I also am not a huge fan of that mountain. But we shouldn't hit it, actually, and we should be going right now. Yeah, that mountain's on the other side of where we want to land. So ideally, we'll stop before we get there. This isn't the most peppy of ships. And it's going to have so much fuel left over. I actually feel bad about how much fuel I brought. I could have brought landing gear instead of fuel. Things are looking good. Can do the rest of this by eye. We have landed on Minmus. Keep the experiments. Let's take our trophies here. We got some money. We got stuff. Okay, let's see what else we need to do here. We need to plant a flag on the moon, which isn't going to happen. I think we need to plant a flag on Minmus, don't we? Plant a flag on Minmus. And then we just need to do the science, which we've already got science. Let's go ahead and EVA. And Daniel Schmid, what did I call this? The opposite of an isthmus. Passage. What is the opposite of an isthmus? I-S-T-H. Isthmus. A Minmus. I don't know anymore. What am I even doing here? Okay, let's go ahead and keep this experiment. I don't know how he's taking extra experiments. I think it's actually like cheating and storing them in him. Like he's taking them out of his experiment pack and putting them in his hold everything pack. But I'm not going to complain too much. Okay, let's head back to the Space Center and see if we can get more contracts now that we've completed a bevy of them. Okay, build a new surface outpost on Ike. Not going to happen. Test a stack separator orbiting Kerbin. probably not going to happen. Conduct temperature surveys of the moon, build a new orbital station on the moon, build a new orbital station around Minmus. None of those are really likely to happen. So we are not going to accept any of them at all. Wouldn't work at all. Okay, let's go ahead and get him back into Minmus orbit. I'm going to go at a 45-degree angle here until we know we're clearing the mountains. This engine doesn't have the kind of gusto that the Terrier does. And we're carrying a lot of fuel that we don't need. And really, it's probably not worth saving this fuel, to be honest. I'm never going to come back to it. I always say I'm going to do these things. That's kind of cool. Is that in the normal texture, or is that something... Is that like a bug or something? That's really cool. And I haven't been watching. Well, at least we're not gonna... At least we're not going to crash back into Minmus, huh? If I were to continue this burn, that would be bad. So let's go ahead and turn trajectories off. And then out here somewhere, let's just go ahead and we could probably do it right here. Hey, I wanted a moon flyby. Yeah, let's do it. It'll be fun. Bye-bye, Minmus. Hello, moon. It's a long 43-day mission. I'm glad we had something to do while we're waiting for the Duna window. And the Moho window's right afterwards. I think what we're going to do is, unless we happen to get some sort of contract to actually go to Duna or Ike for the contract configurator, I'm just gonna launch a probe to make sure that we encounter the world, so that we open up the possibility, because it might be that the contract configurator mod is set up to not start offering these things until you've been there. I mean, I don't think I've been offered anything I wasn't offered anything for Moon until I went there, and so I just want to make sure before anything happens. I don't want to be sitting here waiting for contracts, not going to places because we're waiting for contracts, when in fact I have to go to those places in order to get the contracts. I don't really care about this anymore. Mostly I care about my periapsis height. I would like it to be basically at 70. And as the sun is rising, I remembered I actually had one more thing to do in this mission, and that's to detach this and get it attached here. I don't know if this is going to work or not, and I don't want to send up a whatever you call it, a save him mission. So we're going to quick save, and then we're going to decouple this thing, and then we're immediately going to spin around, set it as our target, control from here, get aimed at it, turn on the RCS, and then go forward. Whoa. I screwed that up. Okay, yeah, I was completely misreading it. Yeah, we're going to hold on F9. Yeah, that was I was misreading the controls. For some reason, I thought he was still going away from me as I was thrusting, and then suddenly he was on me. So let's go ahead and decouple this. Set him as a target. Control from here. Spin around. RCS. Hit H. Pay a little more attention to what you're doing. Zero in on this guy. Let's get going. 0.3 meters per second. He should be coming back now. He is. A little bit more control is what we want here. It's a pretty high-tech ship we got here, because this engine is going to work perfectly fine once it gets attached to the top of the ship here. Oh, there we go. Okay, it is attached. We are ready to go. We need to now control from this thing, because that's the only thing that's aimed in the same direction as our engine. Now, we want to burn retrograde. If we do it right now, we should be fine. So let's just go ahead and do it. We also want to be splashed down, remember. So this ocean seems like the right place. So let's bring up trajectories. Let's just start burning retrograde here. We're not actually burning retrograde because of the heat shield. Oh, not a big deal. We still have monoprop. So let's control from here. Let's hit F5 again. I was actually using the monoprop for that. That's not good. Let's turn this on again, and let's start thrusting. And we are already out of monoprop. We are already out of monoprop, and we are not even close. I cannot believe I did that. And because I hit F5, I think we need to get out and push. All we got to do is get it within 70. All we got to do is get within 70 kilometers. I don't want this. I don't want you to tell me about science right now. I'm kind of busy. I can't believe you have time to take a look around and see what's going on. Okay, 70.4, 70.3, 70.2, 70.1. Under 70. Okay, we are officially re-entering the atmosphere. I don't know who thought up this mission plan, but he's going to have a lot to answer for. Let's also hold ourselves flat to the atmosphere, as flat as we can, which I think means this. Yeah, we are no longer trying to complete the contract. Now we're just trying to get home. I mean, as I said last episode or the episode before it, there's a lot of ocean on Kerbin, so we have a moderate chance of coming down in the water. Now that I need it, though, I'm guaranteeing that it won't actually happen. Also, this is going to take multiple passes, so I will be back when we're actually coming down. I have an idea. I have two ideas, actually. One of them is to decouple everything else from me, which will make this thing easier to push around, because we don't need the fuel anymore. The other idea is to do it backwards to give us even more kick. I've gone around like 3 times, and I've actually gotten out and pushed more. So let's go ahead and stage this away, which should push us even farther, and it did. But now we can also hop out and then push the back of this guy and push him much faster. And we're now coming down in one orbit, which is exactly what we want. Get back in your ship before you die. Oh, wow, that's creepy. Oh my god, first-person view. We've just achieved first-person view in EVA mode. Does anyone else know about this? It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. I just discovered something. Okay. We're hitting F5. If we don't land in the water, I don't care. Okay, I have no idea where we're coming down, but I do know when, and that when is this orbit. It looks like we're actually going to pass over the entire daytime side of the planet. We're actually going up, even though we're never going to be back in space. We are going to pass over the entire daytime side of the planet and possibly land back in the shadow. Although this is coming back, and it's coming over this huge swath of ocean, which is a very good sign, in my opinion. It's a sign that we might actually make it. The Trajectories mod has no idea how to handle this ship because it's so crazy looking. But that's okay. This is slowing down in its thing. I would really hate it if it ended up like stopping right here. The chances are low. It's much more likely that it'll be somewhere between here and here or somewhere between here and here. But my luck doesn't always go with what is actually likely to happen. Okay, this is actually a good sign. The fact that we're already here means we'll probably be over here. Now we just got to worry about it being pulled all the way back to Kerbal Space Center. Because we're already almost over the desert. Pyramid's down here somewhere, I think. Yeah, we're flying right over where the pyramid is. That's it right there. No, I think that's water. I think I've done this before. Or I'm totally wrong about where the pyramid is. I think I've done the totally wrong about where the pyramid is before. Yeah, if I had to guess, I would say we're going to land right on the Kerbal Continent. We're still going over 2 kilometers a second. We're starting to see fire, so I think I'm going to cut it down to 3 times time warp. Just for safety's sake. Also going to hit F5 again. We're basically sealing Daniel's fate. If time warp does, oh, look at that moonrise. If time warp doesn't, what am I saying? If time warp does not kill us, if we die just because we die, then Daniel's dead, along with all that science that we gained on this thing. If though what I think is going to happen, that he's perfectly fine, then he's perfectly fine. And it looks like we are going to land in the water. The only chance is if we land in that thing. And I will frickin' rollie this thing into the water if we're a kilometer from the shore. Oh, we just saw some temperature gauges, but then they went away. Yeah, Kerbal Space Center isn't even there because we moved it to Ferret Island. Okay, we're starting to see more temperature gauges. I'm going into double time warp. Yeah, it looks like we're going to land in the water. Which I, for one, am just ecstatic about. Especially when we pull this chute. When we pull the drogue chute to slow us down, that should definitely get us short of this thing. But I don't see any way we wouldn't be in the water. Daniel, you have succeeded at your mission above and beyond. You overcame a design flaw in the ship. We need to hit the parachute again. There we go. You overcame a design flaw. You managed anyway. We're going less than 200 meters per second. I'm not going to bother keeping anybody here for the entire descent. I'm not even going to stay here for the entire descent. I'm going to go get my food. I hope you all enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm HMV, and as always, talk at you later.